Well, I'll say this first. Everybody attacks it differently. That's kind of where you have to build your own professional approach to this thing. Everybody gets that free time off, and you got to do something. You just have to do something productive with that time, and you got to find a way to keep getting better, even though you're not in the building, and working on routes and stuff with the entire team. But it's over the course of my career, I've just found the groove of when to get ready. I take camp very seriously. I take preseason very seriously. I get a lot of my work done during that time, and the free time that I get, I like to put my feet up, go see some family, all while staying in shape and getting geared up for training camp.
What's the biggest, memory that jumps out to when you were a rookie? That first couple days at training camp, given it was Andy's first as a head coach.
Really, that first training camp, you don't realize how many people are going to be out there. It felt like it was a game. It was the excitement of people watching practice and stuff. I'm not used to that as coming out of University of Cincinnati. Our training camp was in higher ground in the middle of Indiana, so we didn't really have anybody at practice. It was kind of the dog days and just the fellas that were on the team. And then sure enough, I come to KC and it's a packed house. Everybody out there, St. Joe's, screaming, yelling, getting fired up during stretch. I'm just like, man, this is it's a little different. You don't got to, you're not as much in your head about the dog days of 2 days and stuff like we had in college. Well, I guess we don't do 2 days anymore, but yeah. So I would say the crowd is definitely what stands out the most.
Is there a moment you had that first season where it's like, oh, this is like welcome to the NFL moment with Coach?
With Coach, I slowly realized how Coach wanted things to get going. Like I think he even said it on my on the podcast or the show that I got with my brother, New Heights. He was saying, the first 5 years were a challenge. Which is fun to look back at, the first 5 years. And I've actually watched a lot of that tape, and I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, I get it. I get where he's coming from. You find that professional approach, and you find that, that groove, and I think Coach Reid does it the best of, channeling everybody to that discipline aspect. Is hard. It's not an easy thing to get a bunch of, grown men to stay disciplined on stuff like, So it's just, I think the welcome to the league moment with Coach Reid was just that eyebrow he gives you, man. That thing, he just looks at you like, all right, I better pick it up. Yeah. Better stop screwing around in here.
Last time you got one of those eyebrows for?
When I pitched the ball against Cincinnati.
Can you look back on the Super Bowl moment and specifically at those 2 touchdowns where guys had like an acre of ground to catch the ball?
Yeah.
And tell me how that happens, and did you know that was going to happen? What, as the play was even called? I mean, that's, it's hard for civilians to understand football. So explain, how that play came about and how those guys are so wide open.
Yeah, well, first things first is great game planning. The coaches do a great job of understanding what, the tendencies are for the defensive, the defense that we're playing, or the defensive coordinator and what his tendencies are to call in that area. And then, and then play design. You get everything mirrored up the exact same. That's a lot, and a tip of the hat to our coaching staff, both in the run game, the pass game, because all of it kind of ties in together in the red zone there.
So tell me about that play specifically. What's going on? You're on the field, you're not catching the ball, but what's going on in that play? I mean, Slay is pointing this way, and all of a sudden somebody's running the other way. What?
Typically, what we've shown on that play is just we have different versions where the guy in motion goes all the way across field, so the defense will just, they'll have an answer for that. They'll have, whether it's, passing it off to a guy on the other side of the field, or, the 2 guys playing man on that side of the field, which you saw a couple times in the Super Bowl where they kind of just got confused on who had who. And that's where it comes to where the offensive coaching staff and then the guys doing it the right way on the field, giving nothing to the defense that we're doing something different.
Travis, is your training any different now that you're getting older and all? You're older and wiser, better, you look like a fountain of youth, you can see everything you've done. But I mean, what do you do to maintain that we all get a little older?
I just love the game. I think that kind of keeps me living with a I don't know, a young, fun-loving football player. I get to play a game for a living at the age of 33, 34, and I think that's you know, I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that excitement that I had for the game when I was a kid. And every single day I get to come in with the best team, best players, best coaches in the world. So it makes it easy to come in here and just enjoy it. But I would say I just focus on a lot of the smaller things, the details of things, and just try and make sure that, you know, everything as an athlete, in terms of muscles and explosion and things like that, that everything's firing, so I don't go out there and, you know, tweak my back like I did last week.
You mentioned you taking this time seriously, like preseason and camp and all that. But how much? Karen mentioned, you know, you're older in your career. How much do you embrace the mentorship? Like, with
oh man, I love it, man.
Sky and those kind of guys.
We got the best tight end room in the league right now, and it's fun to be a part of all the just the grand scheme of things in terms of this offense and what it can do. But coming to work and being around the tight end group, man, we got a fun group that just loves to play this game and wants to make plays, no matter how they got to do it. You know, whether we're blocking, whether we're catching the ball downfield, or just, you know, finding a way to get somebody else open. And that's the beauty of the tight end positions, that we're pretty selfless, and whatever you need, we can do. And the young guys, man, the guys that are kind of like still getting molded into this offense that you'll see this year, any bit of advice I can give to anybody, and that's kind of across the league. I'll give nuggets of gold over here at tight end U coming up next week, or what I think are nuggets of gold. And you know what? And it'll be I'm here to try and get everybody to be at their best, you know, and still got that confidence that, you know, what we do over here is always going to be, you know, number one.
Okay, we got 4 more. We got to wrap up, guys. So Todd, Blair, Pete, Mackenzie.
How much does that keep you young?
Keep me young, man. I'll tell you what, it is fun, man. Seeing Jody Fortson fly around, seeing Noah fly around, you know, Matt Bushman coming in, making plays every single day, you know, that gets you excited about the group. So that alone kind of builds the motivation, that, you know what I mean, kind of builds the beast and gets you to want to fly around too and have some fun catching the ball and getting open, man. So without a doubt, man, I think it fuels me, but you know, I think this entire team fuels each other. We don't got a lot of drains out here, baby. It's all City of Fountains out here.
Travis, one of the things, like on the podcast that you guys are doing, you know, there weren't podcasts when you were, maybe there were, but you probably wouldn't have been trusted to do a podcast in your first 5 years of the league.
It's fair enough.
And now you are. Can you tell us, I don't think I've heard you talk about how that came about. Did you ask the team permission? Were they like, all right, Travis, we trust you to do this now?
It was kind of like when I got drafted, it was just like, oh, all right, who are you doing it with? He was like, I'm doing it with Jason. Like, oh, okay, well, you can do it then. So that was basically the premise of it right there.
So it's only Jason? He has to trust you too, though, right?
I mean, on 3rd and 10, I think I built the trust enough, but yeah, we're still working on everything else.
Blair.
I don't think we've talked
work in progress
since the SNL appearance, but I'm just wondering, what did you appreciate about the way they go about their business?
It was a machine, man. It was a very strategic, structured machine, and then there was a lot of fun in terms of the creativity. You know, the structure is there so that everybody that is creative can kind of have like parameters, and on top of that, everybody works great together there. You know, all the writers, the production, everyone, it's like a team effort. So in terms of like drawing up plays and going out there and performing, you know, the plays on the field and the creativity that's kind of built into it all, there's some similarities, I will say this, but there's nothing like being in front of the world with a mic in your hand.
Pete and then Mackenzie.
Travis, I know that you recently hired some off-the-field representation, just given some of these opportunities like the match and SNL. Questions always asked is how long do you feel like you want to go, just considering sometimes when tight ends get to their mid-30s, you know, they sort of look at that.
Till the wheels fall off, baby. I love this game, man. I know I'm going to miss it when I'm done playing, but it's I hear you on that, and that's a business decision I'm sure I'll have to make at some point in my life, but for right now, I'm in this building wanting to win football games, man.
We have to ask, last night you got a second chance at a first pitch. What was that?
I'll tell you what, I got lucky. I did. I got lucky. I don't know if you guys saw the left foot slide there, good foot, but yeah, I think that actually helped it come back over the plate. So yeah, I got lucky. I didn't fall on my tail and go viral yet again for the wrong reason. But yeah, shout out to Bobby Witt for he kind of painted that corner for me a little bit, put it over the plate. So thanks to the Royals for letting me get a second chance. And I'm sorry, Cleveland. I'm so embarrassed to come back home now. But you know what I mean.
Travis, are you at all impressed with what you're accomplishing at what is considered an advanced football age?
I would say my mentality is always on my worst critic. I can't watch myself on film without just absolutely just telling myself that I suck 90% of the time. There's times where it's fun and you make it play, or you get open, or you make a good route, or you make a good block. But at the same time, it's you have to be your own worst critic. You can't sit there on the times that you have success. There's always chances where you can just keep getting better, and that's just kind of the mentality I've always had in my athletic career, man.
This is the first time in 2025 that Travis Kelce has openly spoken about Taylor Swift during an official football interview. As wedding rumors heat up among fans, the blending of two our-world sports and music has made the love story of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift one of the most talked about in pop culture today. They began dating in late 2023, and ever since, Taylor Swift's presence at Kansas City Chiefs games has sparked a wildfire not just in the sports world but all over social media. By the end of this interview, Kelce spent almost 10 minutes expressing the powerful impact Taylor has had on both his personal life and career. Their bond goes far beyond emotions. It deeply affects how Kelce now handles his professional life. "I've learned from Taylor how to stay calm in any situation," he said, revealing just how much her support means, both on and off the field. "She's incredibly strong. Watching her handle global pressure while on tour constantly pushes me to improve myself every day," he said. When it came to Taylor Swift's training camp appearances, reporters brought up an interesting question during the press conference: had she ever attended one of the Chiefs' practices? Travis Kelce chuckled before responding. "She's stopped by a couple of times, but always quietly. We try not to bring attention to where the rest of the team is. Still, Taylor's always curious. She asks how practice went, how tired I was, whether I scored a touchdown." The Chiefs' communications team declined to say if any special arrangements would be made for Taylor to visit Kelce at St. Joseph in the coming weeks. However, multiple sources close to them say the two have stayed in daily contact, even with the long distance and packed schedules that take them from studio sessions to business meetings. They are each other's emotional rock. After wrapping the second leg of her Eras tour in Europe, Taylor Swift returned to the U.S. and spent a little time in Florida with Kelce before he officially entered training camp. Kelce shared that the short time with his girlfriend not only gave him mental clarity, but also allowed both of them to reflect deeply on their future. "We had many conversations about how to keep everything balanced.